Hello, friends. If it wasn't clear before that Donald Trump is a white supremacist, it should be clear right now because his stupid administration is using language from the Nazis. If you look at his DHS, if you look at the White House, they're all posting quotes and slogans from the Nazis, from Germany, from 1933 Germany. So that should tell you that Donald Trump, the Trump administration, is just another stupid version of the Nazis. Just look at who they're recruiting into ICE. They're recruiting only like white people, you know. There might be some black people or Latinos there, but the majority of these ICE people are white. And I say that the Latinos that are there and the blacks that are working for ICE, I just call them the useful idiots because they're just another. They're basically looking for money, and ICE is paying a lot of money for these fools to work for them, so they're just going there for the money. But the majority of it is ICE is basically being run by white people, and like I said, Donald Trump is a white supremacist. So, of course, they're going to try to clean America of the blacks and the Latinos and anybody that does not look like them. That is what Donald Trump is doing with ICE. Just look at how they're harassing and trying to deport all Somalians from Minnesota. This is another example of how ICE has become another version of the Gestapo police, the secret police, whatever you call it, going after the Jews back then, but now they're going after Somalians and Latinos and anybody that doesn't have the same white color as them. There's a story online of this priest. This priest said that he was detained and he was questioned by ICE. They put him in the black SUVs, and one of the ICE people asked him, "Are you afraid yet?" And the priest said, "No, no, no, I'm not afraid." And the ICE person said, "You're lucky because you're white." So because he was white, he was let go. They uncuffed him, and he went back to his whatever he was doing. But that should give you another example. And again, his interview is online, so if you're interested, you can watch his interview for yourself. But that's another example of how white supremacist the Donald Trump administration is. The good thing about what they're doing right now is that I know for a fact that Nazi Germany fell. Like the Nazis fell, and so the same thing will happen with Donald Trump, with the white supremacist Donald Trump. He will also fall because that's what happened. People rise up. The good always wins in the end, and I think that's what's going to happen. Because even if you look at what's happening right now, like everything that Donald Trump is doing is falling apart. Like these huge anti-ICE protests is getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I think it's going to multiply in other cities, in other states. So it's just going to get worse for him. The international community has turned against him. UN is trying to isolate Donald Trump, and even they're thinking about moving the UN headquarters to Geneva. So that's another fail for the U.S. president. They want to be the strongest country in the world, but the country is not paying attention. The world is saying no. We don't care about your bullshit. And one of the funniest thing is he went to the Ford Detroit plant for a tour. He thought it was going to be a nice, happy tour. He's going to talk about how great he is and what he has done to the auto industry. And you saw the video probably. While he's walking along, somebody yells out, pedophile protector. And of course, Donald Trump is a scared little man. He is thin skinned mother. Yeah, oops. He has a thin skin. He has a thin skin. So uh, he immediately got triggered and he put up the middle finger and he mouthed "f you." Oh man. So oh man. But that's who Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is a scared little man. Whenever he's challenged, he just puffs up. Like that puffer. Is it puffer fish or blowfish? That fish that basically increases its size when they see a predator near. That's who Donald Trump is. He's a puffer fish. I'm like Chris Tucker. I cannot say that, or Jackie Chan. I cannot say that word. But that's who Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is a scared little man. And again, the world will turn against Donald Trump because he's trying to recreate Nazi Germany in America, and the world will not have it. The world defeated the Nazis two times, and they will do it again. And I really think that, back then they had the Nuremberg trials. I think we're going to have our own version of Nuremberg trials when this whole nonsense with the Trump administration is all done. I think that's what's going to happen. We're gonna prosecute all these people who are in charge of treating immigrants this way, deporting people for no reason. Um, I think that's what's going to happen because all these people need to be held accountable for what they have done to the American people. All illegal, legal U.S. citizens. They have treated all these people with such disrespect. All these sad videos of people being pulled out from their cars like they were dogs or whatever like that. It's not right. And all these ICE morons should be held accountable. I think they should all be in prison when justice is restored. But we're going to have to wait and see because, 2026 is going to be worse because maybe Donald Trump, maybe this year will be the Donald Trump year because I don't think in 2027 he's not going to have any power because the Democrats will take control of the House and the Senate, and the Democrats are going to go after him and try to stop him from doing anything else. So he's going to try to do everything right now. But once again, Donald Trump will fail. Hopefully, there's a judge talking about creating a special prosecutor to look after the Epstein files. Hopefully that judge will make the rulings. Hopefully, the Supreme Court will rule against Donald Trump in terms of the tariffs. But we all have to see. Hopefully, the U.S. for once, the U.S. Supreme Court will follow the law and follow the U.S. Constitution. But I don't know. These people are corrupt. Whatever. Thank you so much.